Hello, my name's Amandeep, and in today's market update we'll be focusing on the rapeseed market. The UK rapeseed harvest is more or less done. Yields have generally been above the previous 5-year average, reported to be around 3.5 to 3.7 tonnes per hectare by AHDB, and the oil contents have also generally been good. Overall, we can expect a recovery in output this season. In Europe, good yields have been reported in France, despite earlier concerns, such as frosts in the spring and hot and dry weather in June. Yields may even match the record yield of 3.8 tonnes per hectare achieved in 2008. The higher yields are expected to offset the lower area, and so production is forecast by the EU Commission at 4.7 million tonnes, which is 9% higher year on year. The German and Polish rapeseed output is also expected to make a recovery. Overall, EU rapeseed crop is expected at 21.6 million tonnes by the EU Commission, and that's compared with 19.7 million tonnes last season and is above the previous 5-year average. While we expect a recovery in Europe, the global rapeseed supply and demand balance is likely to be finely balanced. There's a question mark over Canadian canola or rapeseed output due to the lack of rain in the Canadian prairies, and is illustrated by these rainfall maps for the provinces of Saskatchewan and Alberta, the two main canola producing regions. So in the rainfall map of Saskatchewan, as we can see here, a lot of the area is brown and orange, indicating low rainfall. Likewise for Alberta, the areas with low rainfall are shaded by red and orange. Crop condition scores for canola in both of these provinces have been markedly lower compared to last year. Hot and dry weather in Australia, which is another key global rapeseed exporter, could also impact production levels. Now, we can't look at the rapeseed market without referring to soybeans, as they're the world's most dominant oilseed and so exert a considerable influence on the rest of the oilseed market. In the latest world supply and demand estimates, the USDA surprised the market by increasing their forecast for the US soybean yield, despite concerns over the hot and dry conditions in the US Midwest. As a result, the US soybean crop in 2017-18 is forecast at over 119 million tonnes, surpassing last year's record. Sufficient rainfall in August is important for final US soybean yields, and there's a degree of uncertainty whether or not the forecast rainfall will reach all the areas where it's required. So it's a matter of wait and see. Now, what has all of this meant for prices? The graph here shows nearby Paris rapeseed futures for the past few seasons. A tight rapeseed market in 2016-17 was supportive for prices compared with recent seasons, as shown by the green line. Prices so far this season are at similar levels compared with a year earlier. UK delivered prices, which generally take direction from Paris rapeseed futures, are also being supported by currency effects. The further weakening of sterling against the euro have meant that prices have been relatively higher compared to previous seasons. As at 18th of August 2017, UK delivered rapeseed into Erith was £323.50 per tonne, compared with around £310 per tonne last year and £250 to £260 per tonne in the previous two seasons. So the main things to watch out for over the next few months are the size of the Canadian canola harvest, how much will the dry conditions experienced impact yields, and of course the US soybean harvest, which will undoubtedly set the tone for global oilseed supplies in 2017-18. Keep up with the latest news and developments on the market's website.